Hello, I'm Daniel. I'm going to read to you from a text called the Metta Sutta today. This is one of the older Buddhist texts, and I think it's where the teachings, when we hear about things like loving kindness, that's where it comes from. It's founded on the Metta Sutta. Other texts, of course, came at that idea, but this was the first text that really addressed kindness. So, the story behind the text is, a lot of these old texts have this story, have the story of monks coming to the Buddha with a problem. And that's what this is about. The story is, this group of monks went to meditate in the woods at night, and they were afraid. They thought there were ghosts in the woods. They thought the woods were haunted. So, because it was very spooky. So they went to the Buddha and asked what they should do. They said, these woods are really creepy. I think they're haunted. What should we do? And the Buddha presented kindness as an antidote to fear. How's that work? Well, the monks, he gave them this teaching to memorize and recite, and they recited it whenever they got scared, and that made them feel better. It's like they distracted themselves from their fears by just reflecting on the positive things. And we can do that too. I think implicit in the story is the Buddha is sort of expressing that the ghosts they're afraid of aren't real, right? So he's saying, when you get afraid of things that aren't real, just recite this sutra and you'll feel better. Sutta, and you'll feel better. So that's something we can do too, especially when we're dealing with too much worry, worrying about things that aren't going to happen, or anxieties that make no sense, which we get those sometimes. We can just kind of recite some words of the Buddha and maybe feel better. So I'm going to read this text to you now. This is called the Metta Sutta. And a lot of these old texts are pretty easy to understand, and that's what I like about this one. There's plenty of old texts that are hard to understand, but this one's really easy. So here we go. Metta Sutta. The Buddha says this. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who seeks the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied with few responsibilities and easygoing, grounded and not impulsive, not chasing status, and not doing the slightest thing which is denounced by the wise in others. May they have happiness and peace. May all beings be happy in themselves. Whatever living beings there are, fearful or fearless, without remainder, huge, large, medium, small, fine or coarse, seen or unseen, remote or living nearby, born or seeking birth, may all beings be happy in themselves. Let none deceive another, or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Like a mother's own child, she will protect the only child with her life. Thus, for all beings should the heart become infinite, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, free from hatred and ill will. Standing or going or seated or lying down, as long as one is free from drowsiness, one should practice this mindfulness. This, they say, is the holy state here. Not falling into views, ethical and with perfect vision, having given up greed for sensory pleasures, freed without doubt from birth. So, the message of the Buddha here, I think, is we can come at enlightenment from a position of kindness, from a position of trying to help others. And that is a really positive thing for us to do. It's not just about learning how to concentrate and be aware, but it's also about cultivating this kind of kindness. If we're kind to others, we're going to have more harmony in our lives. And I think that's really important. So that's the Metta Sutta. Thank you for watching this video.